Hey guys, it's XYDI, and I'm back at it again with some gaming news. Today I'll be talking about a Silent Hill rumor, the new Mortal Kombat movie, and Dualsense Drift. Let's talk about all that and more on today's episode of The Drop. Obviously, one of the biggest news stories of this week was the long-awaited Nintendo Direct, where they revealed their plans for the first half of this year. If you missed it or just need a recap, you can check out the special episode that I did on it, links in description or title card at the end of the video. In the Direct, Nintendo announced the long-rumored HD remaster of Skyward Sword, but that might not be the only Zelda game coming to Switch this year. According to Andy Robinson, who's a well-connected reporter for VGC, Nintendo may also reveal that Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD are making their way over to the Switch from the Wii U. It's important to note that this is just a rumor, but it's admittedly a pretty exciting one, and I definitely hope it's true. You can never have too much Zelda. Alright, so moving on, this week, Treyarch detailed what we can expect from Season 2 of Black Ops Cold War. With an all-new Battle Pass, 4 new prestige tiers, and some huge updates to zombies. Perhaps the biggest addition is the new Outbreak mode, which is a brand new, large-scale zombies experience where you'll complete various objectives with your team on huge maps while fighting off the Horde. And it looks freaking awesome. Some more changes to zombies include a new field upgrade, new ammo mod, and new upgradable tiers for your perks, weapons, and skills. Moving on to the multiplayer, there are new weapons, operators, maps, and modes, including the return of the fan-favorite gun game. As for Warzone, they teased an ominous-looking cargo ship approaching the shores of Verdansk and promised new points of interest to explore within the ever-popular Battle Royale. All of this is set to begin on February 25th. Now for a news story that is sure to shock absolutely nobody. Sony is copying Nintendo yet again, except this time it seems to be for a lawsuit due to controller drift? Yikes. A New York-based law firm has filed a class action lawsuit against Sony claiming that the PS5's DualSense controller is, quote, defective, and that Sony isn't doing enough to rectify the issue or help consumers get an easy fix. If this sounds familiar, it's because this exact same law firm filed a similar lawsuit against Nintendo for their infamous Joy-Con drift issues. Now, with the PS5 being as brand new as it is, it's hard to tell if the DualSense drift is as widespread and common of a problem as it is with the Switch. However, time will surely tell. For what it's worth, I've had a PS5 since launch and I've played hundreds of hours on it without experiencing any of that, which I wish was the case with my Switch, as I have several pairs of Joy-Cons rendered basically useless due to the drift. Hopefully this will all blow over and not become a prevalent part of gaming on PlayStation, but until there's more information out there, I'm gonna recommend to be a little bit more careful with your DualSense controllers. And while we're on the subject of drifting, EA has acquired Codemasters, the developers best known for the Dirt series. In a $1.2 billion deal, EA has expanded its roster of racing games to include the likes of Project Cars, Grid, F1, and of course the Need for Speed and Burnout franchises, making them a true force to be reckoned with when it comes to wrecking cars. And as a sweet little bonus to this news, the fantastic most recent entry in the Dirt series, Dirt 5, will be available on Xbox Game Pass for console and PC starting on February 25th. Speaking of Xbox, this week they've gone over a couple of new features coming soon to the Xbox family of systems. First up is a long-awaited next-gen feature, FPS Boost, which is finally starting to roll out this week on a per-game basis. This update will bump games that typically run at 30 frames per second up to 60, and in some cases even 120. Only a handful of games have received the update thus far, but they've promised that a bunch of games will be getting the same treatment in the coming weeks and months. But they weren't done there. Microsoft also announced an expansion to its accessibility program, which is working to make gaming more easily accessible to people with disabilities. This, in addition to the success of their adaptive controller, is a huge step from Xbox to be more inclusive towards people who might otherwise have difficulties playing video games. And now let's get into a story that gets me pretty damn excited: the return of Silent Hill. Now, if you've been following the ups and downs of the all but confirmed next-gen Silent Hill reboot, I wouldn't blame you for taking this with a huge grain of salt. But apparently, we're getting not one, but 2 reboots of the franchise. One is of course the long-rumored game that is not so secretly in development by an unknown Japanese developer. But, in a new twist to this ever-present rumor, Bloober team, who just released the fantastic horror game The Medium, may be behind the helm of a second Silent Hill game. In a report by VGC, the devs said that their next game is based on an existing horror IP from, quote, a famous publisher. What gives this story an extra bit of credence is the fact that in an interview with GamesIndustry.biz, the composer of Silent Hill, who also worked on The Medium, announced he's working on a second game with Bloober team. And the CEO of the company believes that, quote, when people realize we're working on it, they will be very excited, end quote. And very excited I am if this all turns out to be true. It's been a very long time since the last Silent Hill game, and that weight is stung a little bit extra since the cancellation of Kojima's Silent Hills back in 2015. Let's just hope that these games can make it out of the fog and finally see the light of day. Next up, we've got some news on the new Mortal Kombat movie in the form of a brand new red band trailer. We got a look at Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Mileena, and a few other iconic characters from the famous fighting game franchise. We got some glimpses of the bloody action and most importantly the confirmation that it will be coming to theaters and to stream on HBO Max on April 16th. One question that was surely on everyone's mind, however, is where the f*** was Chun-Li in all of this? All jokes aside, it seems that Chun-Li is getting some love in the form of a brand new skin coming soon to Fortnite. It seems that both Ryu and Chun-Li are making their way into Epic's Battle Royale game. These skins look pretty nice and are a welcome addition to the game's roster when they drop on February 20th. And lastly, happening this weekend is Blizzconline 2021, where Blizzard will be revealing all sorts of updates coming to World of Warcraft and Hearthstone. Also expected to be shown is brand new looks at Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. One of the early announcements from the event is that Diablo 2 Remastered is making its way to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC later this year. Alright, and that's everything for today's episode of The Drop. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to go smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so that you always know when I post a brand new video. Thanks for watching. Bye!